this is Russ. Time to talk e-bikes again. Yep, e-bike time once again. Hey, you know, recently I did a video where I was in the car, but we were talking about an e-bike topic. Sometimes I do that. You know, sometimes it's not just on a green screen or when we're on a bike. Sometimes when we're in the car, we do talk about that. So I don't label that e-bikes. You know, whenever it's an e-bike related video, I says it's gonna put an e-bike thing. I don't label those e-bikes because people don't expect it. They kind of expect to be either be in this format where I'm sitting in front of the screen where you see e-bike riding behind me, or if I'm actually on an e-bike, those are the ones that I will put e-bike. But if we're in the car, but we happen to talk about a topic that might be related for the e-bike, I don't label those e-bikes, okay? So just so that you know. So in case you've missed it because you saw the thumbnail look like I was in the car, then you missed out, okay? I'm talking about specifically the video where it says, am I in trouble? I talked to 3 police officers or 3 cops, something like that. That's the name of the title. I'll put a link at the end of this video, so in case you missed it, click on that. It is e-bike related topic. Now, I know almost 1,000 of you guys have actually clicked on that video anyway, but in case you didn't because you didn't think it was e-bike related, click on that one. Yeah, I think you should actually click on them anyways, just to see if the topic, even if it doesn't say e-bikes, see if the topic appeals to you before you just blow off the video, all right? So anyways, go there, find out what I had to say, because it is e-bike related. Okay, next thing I want to talk about. I did a video where I had asked you guys what's the most important things for you guys for 2026 for the Russ's Ride channel. And I would say, although I had a variety of different people's comments, and thank you for those comments too, it seems like most people are saying do what you're doing. Yeah, they seem to feel the basic way I've been just riding and talking about e-bikes and or talking about other topics while riding the e-bike seems to be okay with most people. I mean, if you think about it, what, almost 5 years of that formula has been going on with the Russ's Ride channel. So they said, you know, why fix something that's working? You know, I guess that's true. So they said, just keep doing that. You know, even if it's not e-bike related when you're talking, but you're on the bike while you're talking, they're okay with that. Well, thank you for that. That opens me up to be able to do more. And then also that I can get out on the bike and just feel like I can discuss with whatever I want with you guys. That's kind of like what we do in the car as well. I just talk about whatever's on my mind for that day, right? So thank you for that. Just wanted to at least acknowledge your comments on that video, all right? All right, what else did I want to say today? I wanted to bring up too about accessories. Some of the comments were talk more about accessories for the e-bike. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, I did that in the past, and I think because I did it in the past, I just kind of neglected going forward because I figured I've already talked about it. But some people reminded me too that, you know, there are new people who come on board that may not have seen those old videos. So talking about it again doesn't hurt. Okay, I will do that. Oh, you might be wondering, you know, if you read through all the comments on that video or whatever, said nobody said that. Sometimes people send me emails, all right? So it's not just comments on the videos. Sometimes they send me emails about it. So whenever I say somebody said this, and then you look through it and you go, nobody said that. No, they do. I get a lot of ideas from people because sometimes they send me an email message about something and stuff. You know, I have always said use the email essentially for contacting me for business purposes, but sometimes people don't do that. They still send me the email anyway. So that's how I sometimes get ideas as well. Yeah. You know, sometimes you guys come up with some good stuff. And then I go, yeah, that's a good topic. We should talk about that. Or sometimes people will send me news articles about something that they saw about an e-bike or about something e-bike related. And then I'll look at it and go, well, that's actually a good topic to talk about. So yeah, thank you for those things, all right? And so there's times when people don't want others to see what they're sending me, then they send it to me via email. But if you do an email to me, yeah, try to limit it to, you know, whatever's important type stuff, because I get a lot of spam email. I mean, literally daily, I throw out more emails than I keep, okay? because I'm hit with a lot of emails, and a lot of it is business related, but I don't review that type of products, so I have to toss it. Because I think every YouTuber who has a certain quantity of subscribers probably gets the same emails, because I mean, it has nothing to do with my topics. I'm not going to be modeling dresses, wigs, stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with the channel, but we get those solicitations too. So those are things that you just, okay, and you just delete. People say, well, why don't you put them in the spam thing? I go, it doesn't matter, because it still comes through anyways. Another company will send you things. You know how many different product lines there are out in the world? If you got a YouTube channel, eventually that stuff starts showing up on your thing too. If you're a YouTuber, let me know. Put a comment. What kind of weird things have you gotten for solicitations for you to review? I don't mind really so much. I mean, it's interesting that people do at least know that you're out there and they send it to you. But I keep thinking, well, to get my email address, they have to have at least clicked on one of the videos first. I mean, you can't, well, okay, maybe not. Yeah, I think the description of your YouTube channel tells them what the email address is, right? So maybe they don't even watch that. But come on, even if you look at that, to get the email address, there's a picture of a bike on the photo of the description. When they think, okay, this is probably a bike channel, when you see a bike frame, whatever, doesn't matter. They still send it to you anyway. So, there are channels that will review anything. It doesn't matter what it is. As long as somebody wants to send them something, they'll do a review for it. Get all this product. What do they do with that stuff? I always wonder about that. If you review some product line, it's like, what do you do with it? It's just like they give you an example. I think I mentioned once before, there was a couple of companies that had like electric lawn mowers, right? I go, if I was cutting my own grass, maybe I would do it, but I don't cut my own grass. I have a hard time walking along a lot and pushing forward puts extra strain on my knee and my hips. And as you know, I got problems there. So I don't cut my own grass, so I don't review stuff like that. But I kept thinking, if I did cut my own grass, would I pick up something like that to review? The answer would probably be yes, because I'd like to try it myself, right? And then if I'm trying something, I will review it. I might as well review it at the same time, let you guys know about it, right? I kind of do that with restaurant reviews too. I'm not typically a food reviewer, but if I go to a certain restaurant, they're allowing me to record it, I usually will record it. Spread the word, let them know what my thoughts are on that restaurant, right? So yeah, there's going to be videos that we do that has nothing to do with any of the main topics that we talk about, but that's only because I'm experiencing it. If I'm experiencing it, I'm sharing it with you. Yeah. So yeah, watch some of those food reviews every now and then. I mean, it takes time to make those videos. It really actually sometimes it takes more time than doing this type of video. But I noticed that although you don't get a lot of views on the day that the video comes out, over time it gets a lot of views. Yeah, a lot of those things get a lot of views because other people are looking for that particular restaurant. They want to see if anyone did a review on it, and they run into it. Yeah. So that's why I do it, and I figure I'm there already anyways, and those are tougher reviews in the sense of sometimes they don't come out where it's a positive review. As you may have noticed on the More From Russ channel, I had a couple of reviews where it says, I didn't like this restaurant because of this or that, right? My e-bike reviews are different. They're usually very positive because I've handpicked which bikes I'm gonna review. Yeah, the solicitation will come in, I'll look at it, I'll check the specs out, I'll read their website, I'll do everything I can about it, and then I decide, send it to me or don't send it to me. On a restaurant, I don't know how good their food is until I go there, right? So on a restaurant review, it could be positive or negative. You want to see a negative Russ is Right review? Check out some of the food reviews. Because I'll tell you, as it is, I'll say, oh, this was bad because of this, or they should have done this, or should have done that. I think restaurant reviews are tougher on the restaurant, I should say. Or if it's a good restaurant, it'll be a glowing review as well. Because I had a couple Korean restaurants that I recently went to that weren't so bad, and I'm not even Korean. So, but if something could be a little bit better, I usually will mention. But overall, until you experience it, you don't know. Now, what about e-bikes? Shouldn't you experience that too? Yeah, well, the thing is, I kind of look at it this way with the reviews, and let me mention why I do what I do on the e-bike reviews. Because some people say, just take in the bike, and if it's bad, just give them a bad review. I don't do that. Yeah. First off, it costs a lot of money to the company to send me something, and just to badmouth their product, knowing that it's bad already just from looking at it and looking at the specs, sometimes I can tell. Taking it in just to do a bad review, just to badmouth them, I don't think is a good thing to do. Yeah, it costs them money to do that. I don't want to waste companies' money. They're out of good faith to send you something hoping for a good review. And if I know in my mind and in my heart it's not going to be a good review, why take it? Yeah. Some have said take it and then sell it. How can I sell you something when I don't think it's good? Think about that. What am I going to sell it for, $100? Okay, some people will buy it for $100. No, I can't take something and then sell it off if I know it's probably going to be a not safe product or something like that. Why would I do that? Think about that. Why would someone want to do that? Okay, if you're unethical, maybe you would do that. But no, I wouldn't do that. I've already predetermined this is probably a pretty decent product. Let's bring it in, let's try it. Now, if I bring it in and I try it and it doesn't seem good, I will mention the bad parts about it. Yeah. But knowing beforehand that this is probably going to be a bad product and still taking it in, doesn't happen. At least for me, it doesn't happen. Yeah. Oh, one final thing. Somebody asked me, why don't you do comparison videos? Remember we just recently did a video where I said, this is how I would choose between two e-bikes. And we used, what did we use as an example? Somebody asked about, the Himiway D5 2.0 versus, who was it? Velotrix Nomad 2. Yeah, which is better, right? That's the only time I ever did like some type of, it wasn't really a comparison of the two products because to my mind, they're both almost very similar. But what criteria would I have used to make a decision if I was thinking of buying one of those two models? What would I use as a criteria to make the decisions? I thought that was a good topic, so I did it. But typically, I don't compare one product to the other. Why? Because some people said, this is why we watch the reviews. Well, for the same reason why I don't take products that are, in my mind, poor and then bring them in and then just rip them to shreds. I don't do that. First off, both of those products, like I said, are pretty good and they're very similar, all right? They are very, very similar, okay? And so to say this is better than this one is to me isn't really fair to either company. Yeah, because as much as I know that I want to do good to you guys, I also want to do good to the companies that send me products to do the review. Because to me, I appreciate the fact that they are hoping for a good review. What product company wants to send you something knowing it's going to be a bad review? They're hoping for a good review, right? And I don't want to hurt one company over another saying that this one's better than that other company's product. I don't want to say that, okay? Because chances are both of them were pretty good at the start, otherwise I wouldn't have even taken them. Yeah, and if you watch the individual reviews, I'll point out the issues that I think are missing or not as good. Then I leave it to you to decide, well, based on that, which of those two do you think Russ liked better? I'll leave you to make that decision, but I'm not going to come right out and say it. Yeah. That's a different way of reviewing. Some people, prefer to hear, this was terrible, this one's better than that one. But hey, I'll tell you this, the companies themselves will probably be very upset with you for doing that because, you just hurt their ability to sell a product. That's how I see it. So you may or may not agree. Probably don't agree. Yeah, some people don't care. They just, it doesn't matter. The consumer is more important. I don't think so. I really don't. If the consumer was always more important and other companies didn't matter, then at that point, then we wouldn't have competition. because the only one that would be sold is the #1 product, right? Think about that. But in your mind, it's #1, but maybe the #2 is the best suited product for the other guy. You see what I'm saying? That's why I won't do it. I don't do it simply because I don't think it's fair to the company, and I'd rather you make that decision based on the reviews. You have to watch the 2 reviews for me to make your decision, which one you think fits you better, rather than me telling you what I think you should be doing. I already told you guys, I'm not your typical YouTuber, okay? I'm not the guys, I don't do it just for the views, okay? I do it for my own reasonings behind why I do what I do. Whether you agree with it or not, it's up to you. So, all right, anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Let me know what you think about that, if you agree or you don't agree with that. Yep. And then, would that sway me if a lot of you guys said, no, you should still do the comparison thing? No, it's not going to sway me. It won't. You can put your 2 cents in as to why I should do it if you want to go to that point, but it won't sway me. No, I don't do that. So anyways, talk to you guys next time. Hit the like and subscribe button. Take a look at the linked video that I have for the video we did when we were in the car talking to the cops. All right? See ya.